And here we go. Next one is Ball of Light Evolution, written by A.R. Chen. It is 226 pages, $3.99. It is available on Kindle Limited. Here's the author's description. After waking up, Steve doesn't know where he is. Heck, he doesn't know what he is. Despite his spotty memory, he's pretty sure he didn't used to be a floating ball of light. Also, he's certain that he's not originally from this dangerous fantasy world. Maybe. Okay, fairly certain. To make things stranger, he seems to be involved in something big, something magical, a game. Who was he before? Will his memories come back? Why does he have an assistant explaining the game's rules to him? He can evolve. There's a countdown timer. One thing Steve does know that he needs to figure out what's going on and fast. If he's playing a game, even a deadly one, he plans to win. So there you go. Some very interesting things. The novel description. Okay. Full disclosure, I received an advance copy for review. I purchased a copy when it became available. This story has existed on the world for years. It really has. And it's just now being edited and published. It's actually being published through Blaze Corbin's publishing company. I think it's called Axiom. I can't remember. But he essentially got the author to let him publish it because the author hadn't had any plans to, and I'm glad that he did. This is an entertaining story that I don't think would have been available to a lot of people who just purchased through Amazon. This is a re-monster story, and that's the kind of story where the main character is a monster, whether he's reincarnated or not, and he gets to evolve as part of his progression path. And that's kind of what at the core of what the story is. The main character wakes up as a ball of light with a companion Bonnie, who's his guide. He has to learn about the new rules of his life, which includes gathering energy from animals and kills and other sources to purchase spells and evolve into another monster. And so that's kind of the core of the story. The thing I think that separates this from other stories of this ilk are the world building here. Like a lot of other remaster stories, their big draw is you get to kind of follow the development of a creature that you don't normally see, which is a monster character. And there are a variety of different mechanics and evolution systems that go into that. But that's kind of the draw. Like you get to see the monster development, which is different. It's still very RPG-ish. You get to see all these mechanics. And sometimes you get to see like the evil nature of these monsters. And in this particular case, you get some of that same stuff, not the evil stuff. But in addition to that, this story is set in a fantasy RPG world where you get some actual interaction with the other humans and other cultures in the story. And there's a very good amount of world building here. The early story, the main character comes in contact with a human village, and he kind of has to deal with how he's going to use them or deal with them because they want something from them. Some of them are really greedy. Other ones are really looking for the well-being of the village, and there's a conflict of personality and culture there, and the main character not really knowing what the situation is because again he's literally just kind of exists here. He doesn't have memories of his past life really, and he definitely doesn't have any memories of this RPG world, and so he has to kind of figure out what to do with this. I'm not sure what happens, but there's definitely a lot of like nice cultural building here. There are threats of this village that also not only introduce action into the story, but again they expand the world building. The world building is kind of the big thing that I thought was very entertaining. The author not only writes about backgrounds from individual characters, but he talks about the history of the region. He talks about the political situation between villages and the capital, and social structures and cultural norms, and even information about like how families name their children and their groupings. The details in the story on this level kind of really made the world feel real. It fleshed out a lot for me. It made it more than just like a setting, like a background setting, which I really appreciated. It made the storyline more enjoyable. I cared about the characters, not just the main character, but also all the secondary and tertiary characters because I had information about them and they were made interesting to me. The RPG progression, it's detailed. You get lots of information about evolution, about the magic system, how the main character has to kind of balance how he absorbs energy and how he kind of manages those resources. It's good stuff, and it's seen throughout the entire story. It's really important to the story. It matters. That's what makes it RPG. Overall, again, I've read many monster stories. It's the kind of story I can kind of enjoy. But this one is set apart because of the good world building, and that's why it really kind of stepped itself up from it distinguishes itself, I should say, from other kinds of stories like this. And again, I think part of the thing also for me is that this came out years ago, which is before a lot of those stories came out. And so I wish that this had come out then, because this would have felt like a lot fresher for a lot of people. I think it would have done super well, because it's only come out now. People are already familiar with LitterBG. The market's a little more saturated, but still, it's a good story. I had a good time with it. I definitely encourage you to check it out. That's Ball of Light Evolution with a score of 7.6 out of 10. I had a good time with it. There we go.